Thank you for listening to the Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. Please support the show by subscribing to and leaving a 5-star rating for the show on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podbean, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and any of your favorite podcast platforms. You can also support the show by going to our website, blackandgoldhockey.com, where there's always exciting articles by the B&G writing staff. While you're there, don't forget to click on the fanatics.com banner for a great sports fan shopping experience.
Hey, are you done yet? We gotta start the show.
Behind the net to Bannister, and Allred! Allred from the Boston Bruins!
30 seconds left in the period. The Bruins are shorthanded. Ray Bourque from the face-off circle to the right of Reggie Whitman. Fired it down, and Whitmore blew it.
Did he ever?
To Bergeron on the drive, save, rebound, he's loose. Sagan kicks him loose. Bergeron scores! Patrice Bergeron with the point of the dagger in their throats. They rip it out of Toronto's hands and kill the beast. The Boston Bruins have won it after being 3 down in the third.
The Black and Gold Hockey Podcast is powered by betonline.ag in partnership with the Black and Gold Production Sports Media Company. This is Season 5, Episode 242, and I'm your host, Mark Allred, alongside Miss Heather Ingerson. Heather, what's up, man?
Nothing. What's up? Glad to be back. It was sad last week having the internet issues, but we are here and we have a double agenda practically.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. It's my modem was doing something wrong. I don't know what the hell happened, but it was like going in and out. Even when we were watching like TV downstairs, it was doing it on our streaming service. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a wonderful day. And so unfortunately we didn't get a show in together, but we did do a makeup one with a little bit of a round table with some B&G guys, Kevin O'Keefe, Andrew Taverna, Rye Ellis, and Brett Howard. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me and getting that out so we can, have our sponsors happy. So,
Yes, thank you, boys. It was entertaining to listen to your discussion, and we've got to get this like big old round table for before season going. Like it'll be fun, just like get everyone going because it's fun when you get all the B&G people together, brains colliding like that.
Yeah, I want to do more of them, but it's hard to schedule because of my work schedule and nightlife is just totally different. So we'll figure something out. All right, let's start off. Heather, you have control of the agenda again because I am a huge slacker, and you know that. So.
It's all right. Good thing we had 2 weeks of stuff, so I just what can we do right now? So, anyways, this is kind of just sad. So, I wanted to give a shout out to the Nolans because I know sometimes Brian listens. I know you know this because you love your dad's dogs or whatever. But so my friend's dog Whiskey, unfortunately, older, and they had to make the decision to just. We've had our time. So on Friday we went out to Ashburnham, got to see Whiskey for the last time. So just want to say. Rest in peace, Whiskey. You were the best dog. Remember when you were just a pup and you showed up as a rescue from Tennessee? We couldn't get that dog out the crate. And then once we got him out of the crate, it was like, ooh, that's his excited sound. And just, lots of pats and licks and hugs and stuff. So we had an inadvertent party for Whiskey, but we loved you, buddy. So I don't have any whiskey, but if I did, I'd have some whiskey for Whiskey right now. So I just wanted to say that. The other thing is I just wanted to give a shout out Miss Hannah, Miss I love Patrice Bergeron so much. He is my heart and soul, is off to college. She was putting up some pics, and I just wanted to say good luck in college.
Culinary school, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Very
seems
good.
to be her thing. I think Johnson and Wales, I'm not positive.
Yep,
something
I
like
think
that.
that's right.
But she brought her Bruins love to her dorm room. Yeah, so I just thought she really does love the Bruins. She draws pictures of these boys, and she's a very devoted fan. So good luck for you. I know you're very excited for
And I actually gave it away because it was hard to just. I don't think anybody would truly appreciate it, but we did have an Anders Bjork hand-signed jersey that we got from Bruce Sullivan, and I just didn't want to give it away because he didn't want to, like, for the Patreon members. I didn't want to give it away because the player's not on the team anymore, and I'm not sure if people would really appreciate it. But she's a huge Anders Bjork fan, so I pretty much just sent it to her for nothing because she's a cool person, and basically like a high school graduation and welcome to college gift from everybody here at B&G.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, you guys talked about it when you did the pod a couple days ago, so we don't have to dwell on it. But obviously, we can't not mention that this week Jimmy Hayes unexpectedly passed away, 31 years old. Now, I definitely am not going to sit here. I am not a Jimmy Hayes as a player, lover. I never, like, you were like, it's not going to be fine. I know part of that's because I'm a BU girl and he's a BC kid. Like, I get that, but like, I absolutely respect their family and just extended family and his friends. And it's just been heartbreaking to see everyone posting, and I just feel for them. And it's sad because one thing I've never said is that he wasn't a solid freaking dude, and people love that dude, and just like the podcast buddies and like whatever. I feel for your family, and again, we don't want to not mention it, but you guys have already kind of talked about it. It's just sad, and his wife and his boy, just rest in peace, Jimmy, because you will be loved and remembered because you clearly made a giant impact, and obviously just the impact on mass hockey alone. So I didn't know if you wanted to say one more thing, but I just didn't want to not mention it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm going to miss him with Shane O'Brien and Scotty Upshall on the missing curfew. I wasn't the biggest Jimmy Hayes fan either, but he was a Massachusetts kid, New England kid, and later on I got to appreciate him more. And it just didn't work out in Boston. And it's tough, but situations like this are never good. I just feel for the family and all his friends and everything. It's just really sad, and but
like when you have someone who literally no one has a bad thing to say about because that's how awesome of a human you were. That and just being young. So yeah. Anyways, we don't have to dwell on it, but I definitely just wanted to mention it because how can you not with the impact in the area and whatnot? But I thought maybe we could follow that up just with a couple happy things before we get into like actual hockey talk. Connor Clifton got married. Congratulations, Connor Clifton. And Charlie Coyle got engaged. We got baby on the way, I believe, with Brandon Carlo. So just some outside of the hockey rink thing. Congratulations to the boys. I believe Wags is getting married this month too or something because I remember him talking about it on Toucher and Rich or something when he was on there. So some happy off-season talk. So congratulations, boys, on that.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody on their off-season endeavors. This is the time to make the babies and and get married and so on and get ready for an upcoming season that is hopefully going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this lineup, to be honest with you, Heather. I know a lot of people are trashing Donnie Sweeney and the free agent signings that he made, but I'm not going to do that. I want to see the proof in the pudding first. I want to see what we get after like 10 games, maybe even 20 games, or maybe even stretch it out to as far as the Thanksgiving holiday to gauge where we are in this, and then I'll have I'll critique the team and how it's been thus far. But I don't want to poo-poo on this lineup as of right yet. I'm not going to freak out about it. So
I'm not like, hey man, we're totally winning a Stanley Cup, but I'm not like in a panic mode at all. Like I feel like even if I'm not sure I love it yet, because like you said, I haven't seen training. I haven't seen what it looks like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're going off a cliff anymore because of the off-season signings. They might not be but they're like useful signings and not really like wasting money because even the contracts are things you can flip, this and that, whatever. I'm skeptical. I think I'm more skeptical, but I think it's going to be fun having the normal divisions back. You have normalcy, yay! Like I don't know, we have to go to a Montreal Canadiens game. We got to do it and just
one thing before we get started, I am a little disappointing in the schedule. I really thought that. I mean, the NHL and a lot of writers were instilling in all our minds that there was going to be road games where you'd have 2 apiece, and then make it good for the players, and not to rush around and travel and blah blah blah. So I kind of wish that was going to happen, but it is what it is, and I guess there's only going to be 1 or 2 of those games, and not like what we thought was going to happen. But kind of disappointing in that, but whatever.
Yeah, it'll be all right though. The good news, I think we're about a Matt Grizzlick's day away from dropping the puck as of now.
Nice number reference, number 48.
Yeah, and I think I think we'll be okay. I mean, I'm not, until I see what it is, I can't really be like, yeah, we're definitely getting out of the second round this year. I need to see what's happening on the ice. And generally, as I said a million times, not really an optimistic person generally, but as a sports fan, like I said, I'm a Bruins and a Bills fan. If I can handle a lot of things, probably just from the PTSD of like loving the team, and especially the Bills. But okay, wait, sorry, I know, not football, hockey. Right. Focus, how to focus. But anyways, I think they're gonna be all right. And we'll see. I usually am like, yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry. But then by Thanksgiving is when I'm like, what in the fuck? Why is the trade deadline 3 months away? Or whatever. Yeah. Like, you're not doing anything because that. But that'll be fine. But continuing on the awesomeness of the Bruins, just generally, every year they have, this is the 19th one, I think. They always do the Jimmy Fun thing at Fenway Park. And Bruce Cassidy, Tuukka Rask, Charlie Coyle, Matt Grizzlick. Some of the boys were down there anyways, participating in that as they always do. It's the WEEI/Nesson Jimmy Fund telethon, and that's where we learned that Tuukka Rask will come back for $350,000 and some Bud Light. So I was like, well, you know what, Tuukka? Now we're talking. You got to give him $750,000 because it's a league minimum, right? But you could give him $350,000 cash and the rest of it in beer. Jacobs can get that sponsorship. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need to talk about Tuukka. I know it's.
Just to clarify, he can't come back for that amount of money.
Yeah, that's why I'm joking.
It will be prorated to when he does come back, but the AAV states in the CBA, I believe, that $750,000 is actually the league minimum.
Yeah, that's why I was joking. We can pay him half in beer and half in cash. You know what I mean? Yeah, because he's a veteran, so the league minimum $750, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, so that was I just thought that was hilarious, because that's the thing, is that I do appreciate Tuukka. So when he says things, when they ask him, so you'd play for like $350,000, he's like, yeah, and I'd play for Bud Light or something like that. And it's just like, dude, Tuukka's so funny.
I think his career earnings are right around $60 million, so I'm sure he's not hurting right now.
Yeah, well, he had said earlier in the week, it's not. At this point, it's not about chasing money or whatever, and he has no interest in playing anywhere else. So whatever happens, happens. And yeah, maybe if we have time, we can discuss the rumor. Maybe he'll be a goaltending coach. Maybe he will in a couple years. Like, I feel like if Tuukka doesn't end up back in the NHL, he's going to take a year off. You know what I mean? He too probably would like to go home, visit family, and do whatever. His kids are young. All right, so that's that. All right, moving on. So David Pastrnak, because we didn't get to talk about it, he was named Czech Player of the Year for the 5th time. Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
Like, the kid that had David Krejci on the wall as a kid has surpassed the thing. It's like a long line of, but no, he's awesome, and I'm sure they're very, how can you not be proud if you're a Czech?
Big honor for his native country, and and another solid ambassador for the Czech Republic country as it is, and I'm sure kids are going to be watching and learning and inspiration. I can't even talk right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just a good all around guy that kids can look up to, and and learn from his work ethic, and possibly be future NHLers in the near future.
Exactly. Krejci wanted to be Jágr, and Pastrnak wanted to be Krejci, kind of thing, So, no, the Czech Republic, they have a lot of hockey greats, you know what I mean? But yeah, Pastrnak, and I can just see him being like, oh, guys, another one, thank you. I'm so happy for this. But yeah, so anyways, just wanted to mention that real quick. I don't know if you... Oh, no, never mind. I'm going to follow this up. We're not going to talk about it, because I'm just going to get mad. I get mad with the Krejci thing, because there's like...
Yeah.
I know with you, if I have the discussion, it's not going to be like a nasty, stupid fucking Bruins fan conversation. But generally speaking, on Twitter and Facebook and everything, it's just like so dumb. It's like, it doesn't have to be like, it's reasonable to be like, I don't want him to come back, but I love David Krejci. It's also reasonable to say, I'm not sure, but maybe he could. Like, it doesn't matter, because I just want to bring up the point as a David Krejci fan. He never once said he would be back. Like, after he played in the Czech, he never said he was coming back to the NHL this season at all. He's never said he's coming back to the NHL or not coming back to the NHL. But at no point did David Krejci ever say or insinuate he would be back in the NHL this season.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just weird. If he
what he did say was, this is not the last Boston has seen from him. So I expect sometime soon that he'll be a flag waiver up in the stands sooner or later, and that's what he.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he might come back and like be at the playoffs. You'll see him and the kids and wife up there eating popcorn or whatever. But as for playing, for all the fighting that the Bruins fans want to do, which, by the way, is largely based on some writers that don't have enough to write about, so they just got to stir the pot instead, kind of thing. And then fans, because they trigger, and then it's like, all I'm saying is, again, I think stop acting like if he did play, it would be the worst thing that ever happened to this team, because it really wouldn't. It'd be like, hey, great, you were on a 9-month vacation, really. I mean, if you think about it in perspective, kind of thing. On the other hand, obviously, realistically, he's probably not coming back. And even as a diehard Krejci fan, I can say that and be okay and we'll be okay as a team. Like, it's hard to tell which way we went. Did we get better, worse, or kind of more of the same, but maybe with a little more hope? We don't know yet. Again, you got to see the product on the ice. But I just got to put the Krejci thing to bed. Never once did David Krejci say he'd be back. And I just brought it up because he had his first press conference as a Rooster and officially got his jersey. And he probably is like, wow, these are busy jerseys because there's so many logos.
Crazy.
All right, so that's it. No thoughts on Krejci. I know you boys already discussed it, but that's
we discussed it, and if the Bruins, if he comes back because the European season ends in March or whatever, so there's heavy speculation that he'd play a full year and blah blah blah, and he'll come back here, but he still has to go through waivers. Once a team signs him, it doesn't even have to be the Boston Bruins necessarily, but once a team signs him to a contract, he's got to go through the waiver process. So I don't know. I don't see it happening. And he's going to be a year older, and I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I said it on the round table on Wednesday night that RA actually called it on the Spit and Chiclet, saying that one of the Bruins, Tuukka Rask or David Krejci, will not return to the Boston Bruins. So I have to go with RA on this one and say it's not happening. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing. It's like, Krejci never even said that. Everyone else but Krejci has said that, and that's cool. Sweeney said maybe. Everyone, just stop. Okay, good. We're moving on. Love you, David Krejci, though. Can't wait to see you thinking about ordering your jersey.
Yeah, good luck in the season.
Yeah, good luck, because we do love you and we carry you in our hearts. All right, I didn't know we had this down, and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want, but
don't bring it
first
up.
of all, I'd like to point out on the day that I couldn't say any words, I did call the Motionell thing. Did I or did I not? The day I couldn't say words, my brain was like, is this like Scottish or is it French? It
is very
Morganelle? If it's like thing, or is it Motionell? And remember, I said to you, no, but like Moulin Rouge, so I just have to say. But anyways, he had a couple pressers, and he's talking about down in Providence. So I didn't know if you just wanted to. We were going to talk about it last week. Maybe make some comments about anything, or I mean, he's had some high praise for some people, and he seems like he's going to kind of be a hard ass. That's what he's coming across.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. You can be a hard ass in a good way.
No, it's a very good thing for the Providence Bruins moving forward with the new coach. Obviously, Jay Leach is going to take his time and go to Seattle, and there's going to be upward movement. And I'm kind of shocked that Trent Whitfield didn't get the opportunity first, but I have inside information that John Ferguson Jr., who is the technical the GM of the Providence Bruins, and they're like the under Don Sweeney, Bruins general manager, was very high on getting him to be the bench boss. They have a really good relationship. They work well together. They see the same landscape of this team, which is good, and they're both on top of everything that needs to be done, player personnel and so on. So it was a no-brainer for this to happen, and it sounds like Ryan's really excited in that half-hour press conference that he had with several media members via Zoom. Had some positive things to say, and he looks like he really wants to get the ball rolling on the season. This is his first head coaching job in the American Hockey League, and his last job was in the East Coast Hockey League with the defunct Las Vegas Wranglers, so the original Las Vegas team back in the day. So this is going to be something new for him, but I'm really positive that he's going to stay with the systems that the Boston Bruins are going to instill in him, and get these players ready for the break glass in case of an emergency situation when they don't have to be told on how to play a certain system, and so it should be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully, if we get invited back as media members down to Providence, I have the opportunity to interview them.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. But anyways, like I said, I liked what I heard from him. We'll see what happens. He seems to understand what the Bruins kind of philosophy and like the system in both cities is like, and he's willing to put his own twist on it, hopefully enrich it and not take it away from it. So anyways, good luck to the Providence Bruins again. We're about Mac Reslick days away from them too, because the Bruins all open up on the same day this year. Okay, I want to mention someone who I love very much, as you know, Mark Savard. He was named the Windsor Spitfires head coach. Yay, Mark Savard, back to his old stomping grounds, not the Spitfires, obviously, because he was an Oshawa General, but the OHL, where he is one of actually the best players that ever has come through that system, if you can believe that. And obviously because he's awesome, but because of all the players that have come out of there. So congratulations, Mark Savard. Someday we hope to see you as one of the Bruins coaches. But again, maybe just trying to keep it close to home, given being a dad and everything else, So anyway,
makes total sense for him, and this is a way to get himself involved and, be around his kids, because his kids are teenagers and they're getting older. But maybe after a short tenure with the Windsor Spitfires, that maybe a job opened up in the NHL again. He was assistant coach with the St. Louis Blues for one season, but resigned from that position to go home and be closer to the kids and so on. So you can see that hockey is still a high priority in his life, his family's life, and to be that teacher, of not only how to tape a stick up and so on, but how to kill a penalty or score a power play goal or set one up for that matter is important. So I think that he's just one of those types of people that just loves to teach the game to younger members of our developing core.
Yeah, we love Mark Savard and we wish him the best of luck. And to point out, he was 7th all-time in the OHL. He had 413 points in 238 games, including 281 assists, and that is why me and Lisa used to call him the assistinator, because Savvy just, I don't know, he could do things. All I can ever think of is that goal when there was literally a no-angle goal. Like, what are you, magical? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So good luck, and the Spitfires will definitely benefit from having him on there. Okay, so I have one that's, this was again for more last week, and it's kind of died down a little, but the rumors have resurfaced about what's going on with DeBrusk. Is Alberta calling him home to Edmonton or Calgary? I'm not convinced that at this point that's necessarily happening. I think they want to see what happens at training camp. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they also don't want to, at least they know what they're getting with DeBrusk. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he is better, and maybe he looks more like himself. But what do you think?
I think that he's going to, obviously be in the lineup, but how long is up to him. And hopefully he does something good this year and snaps out of the funk. I'm willing to give him a pass because of everything that was going on, and personal and emotionally, with the COVID stuff and being a younger man and trying to do the things that young 20-year-olds want to do, but they're told they can't do, and so on because of safety issues and blah blah blah. But let's see where we are at the trade deadline with him. If he's doing really good, obviously keep him as a piece, because don't stop a train that's rolling, But I do see that if it's not working out and he does have some kind of value on the open market, then you evaluate him at the trade deadline and you possibly make him a leverage piece for something that you do need, either on defense or forward. One more piece to go forward into, cracking the code of the second round playoff and hopefully a Stanley Cup run. Who knows? But all those variables can be be put in place. There's a lot to unpack with Jake DeBrusk and these rumors, because for the longest time it was just Edmonton. So this is a new rumor because Calgary's involved now, and so on. So, and a lot of people are saying, well, it's do straight up him for Monahan, and I was like, oh,
not happening.
That's not happening. Monahan's got actually 2 full seasons left under his contract. And it's going to be a lot more than Jake DeBrusk to go for Sean Monahan. So
I thought it was funny on the podcast the other day. I think I went to school with like 6 Sean Monahans. That's the perfect Boston name. First of all, Calgary isn't giving you Monahan for just DeBrusk. I'm just saying. I'm not being a jerk, but it's not happening. I'm with Jake DeBrusk. I love Jake DeBrusk. I want to give him another chance because, again, psychological things, just generally to he needs a little more trade value. I think he should be the third line left wing, because I don't think you spent all that time making him a left wing only to force him to work on the right side the last 2 seasons because nobody else could be healthy and or do the job or whatever. I'd like to see him back where they've had him be. Maybe not so much pressure. Now he's not with Krejci. It's not all the crazy COVIDness, and it's his job to stay a Bruin. If he'd rather be here, and at the same time, if you'd rather go back to Edmonton, at least build your value up there. If you need to go home or whatever, you'd rather be closer to family and friends. That's fine. But I think the Bruins haven't given up on DeBrusk. I haven't either. But I just want you to either be the Jake DeBrusk we need you to be, or give yourself enough value that we don't get fucked trying to get rid of you. That's all I'm at. Well, we don't. Because if not, we're stuck with him all season if we can't get rid of him at the trade deadline. That's what. But he's there to fight it out with everyone else. But I think we'll see DeBrusk. I do. I think he'll be one of the, generally at least, in the lineup. All right, that was it. Do you have any other thoughts on that? I just was like, is this more? I feel like, is this old rumors again because it's the lull of the offseason and let's just start? It was like how every 3 weeks Connor Garland had to pop up for a little bit there. All right, so that's that. We agree with that. So I'm going to get to the next one that I feel like is shut up about Jack Eichel, everyone. Just shut up about Jack Eichel. I'm going to just run through it real quick. I love me some Jack Eichel. If we could afford Jack Eichel, I would love to have Jack Eichel. That would be like the dream goddamn team in my mind. Okay? But it's not happening. This poor kid just wants to get a surgery done so he can have the rest of his goddamn career the way he wants on his own terms. I heard there was a meeting. They wouldn't even, there's still no decision. It was lawyers and doctors.
Yeah,
and
it was the
he switched his agent.
NHL, the NHLPA,
yeah,
the Buffalo Sabres, Eichel. His agent switched. He's now with Pat Brisson, who is really well known with making deals with Montreal. So who knows with that? But
Eichel wants to go to whoever will let him have the surgery he wants to have. That's the team he wants to go to. Who will let me, as a 20-whatever-year-old man, decide how to fix my goddamn spine?
Yeah.
And Buffalo either has to deal with it and after all this time, he could have already had the surgery and been on his way to healing is what I am so, I don't know what necessary or not. I don't know that. I'm not a medical professional. All I know is that I've never seen or rarely seen a player very adamant about having a surgery that a team won't approve. So I don't know if it's too risky, whatever the deal is, but if he really feels like he needs to have surgery as a human, he should be able to have the fucking surgery. That's just how I feel about it. Do we need to pull 27 other people into the room? Like, no, I don't think we do, but apparently we do. But generally speaking, I love Jack Eichel, and all you're doing is upsetting me by continuing other Bruins fans to rant on and on about, are we going to get Eichel? We're not getting Eichel. Stop fighting the people who think we're getting Eichel. We can't afford Eichel. Jack Eichel is a pipe dream, which is great. I love him. Warm and feelies all the way. It ain't happening. So can we move on? Just like the David Krejci isn't coming back at least this season. Like you said, we will see him black and gold again. There'll be things. He might not be in the uniform, but like he's going to come back to the fold. But drop it. No Krejci, no Eichel, no Jake DeBrusk. Can we just let those things go? Okay. Just for like a week, just until we know when training camp is, okay? Like what the schedule is for that. All right, ready? Let's move on. Then I'll just let that go. Oh, okay. So I just wanted to ask you this. So Fabian Lysell, right, or Lysell or whatever. I can't remember. All right. So, anyways, he got drafted by the Vancouver Giants in the WHL the year before, right, in the 2020 draft or whatever for their import draft. And then he got drafted by us 21st overall. Was it 21st overall? Yeah. He signed his entry-level deal. I just wanted to ask you, like, he hasn't actually committed to play there, but you think he's going to play there, right? I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but do you think that's where he's going to end up, is probably playing for the Giants in the WHL?
The option's there. Ryan Mujanel, the new bench boss of the Providence Bruins, did say in that press conference that he did, his introductory press conference into the organization as the new head coach, mentioned that I think it was Mark Diva that asked him, what about Fabian Lysell? Where are we with him? And Mujanel said that we're going to start off with prospects to challenge in Buffalo, and that tournament, which is now a 3-team tournament per Matt Porter, Boston Globe, tweeted out today that Pittsburgh did pull out, in fact. So it's going to be New Jersey, Buffalo, and the Bruins in September. I'm not sure the dates. It's in the middle of September. So it's right around rookie camp. There'll be a one-day rookie camp at Warrior Ice Arena, most likely on a Thursday. Then they fly to Buffalo immediately after for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday tournament. But he did say that if he has a good prospects challenge, we'll move on from there. I think that's going to be the catalyst of where they see his game and say, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to NHL training camp. And then we'll assess his game there as he's matched up against bigger and a wide range of ages when it comes to hockey players on the Boston Bruins staff or roster at training camp. And then if he makes it to NHL training camp, I kind of have a feeling that he'll that's when they'll really say, you know what, he might be AHL Providence Bruins already. And if he doesn't survive Prospects Challenge, I think that's when they say, okay, let's get him into the WHL's Vancouver Giants organization out west. And I believe the Dub is a great place for him to go, but it remains to be seen on what type of game and he's going to bring and to the to have all these members of the Boston Bruins management, evaluate him and so on. So, I mean, I don't want to throw it out there, but I mean, there's a really good possibility he could crack the NHL lineup. I mean, things, craziest things have happened. No, I'm not saying that. There's a good possibility. It's happened in the past. First rounders can make the NHL. It's not the first time that this could happen, but the options are there for him to go to the Dub and the AHL. So we'll see what happens.
My point of that is, but that depends on what team drafts you, whether first rounders end up directly in the NHL. Do you know what I mean? Like the Bruins system is so constructed that, so like some teams maybe, so like in the Bruins system, there's so many players. Do you know what I mean? It's a little harder for if you're the one that got drafted this year to necessarily crack the lineup.
Well, right? It's in your play. If you're a better player, you deserve to play.
I know, but that's what I'm saying though. But like for the Bruins, I just personally feel that he hasn't even played a season over here on the ice or transitioned or anything. Right. You have other European players who have already done that. he may be spectacular, but even spectacular might just make him stand out enough to be on the age. You know, like, I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying it's not like Lafreniere. You know what I mean?
Well, in a roundabout way, it sounded like there's no chance of him making the NHL.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for this particular player, that is probably the least likely scenario that's going to probably happen. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because, as we've talked about, you want to see them get a year in at least, you know? I mean, I think maybe that would be better if it was in the AHL. Do you know what I mean? If, like, the skill set looks like he can at least hang with that group of kids, you know what I mean? And stands out in that camp and really shows against other people. But, like, I don't feel like he's necessarily going to disrupt necessarily Jake DeBrusk, because I feel like if a player's going to do that, like, he's going to really, like, against Danica, show up. Like, do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. Because some people have already been established. That's all I'm saying. But I certainly wouldn't say a first-round draft pick has never made the NHL. Obviously, that would be a ridiculous statement. I'm just saying this particular one.
I know, but you were circling around it a little bit. Come on.
No, I wasn't. I was circling to this particular one in this particular system. There's no holes that he necessarily needs an immediate fill on, you know, so. But I just was more wondering if it would be more beneficial in the W, because that is a good league, I think, to kind of get, you know, kind of thrown into the jackpot of, like, how North American style hockey works. All right. So that being said, we have a lot of Ask B and Gs. We're going to put it in the middle here because we're going to have to do it before and after the break. So are you ready, sir, to answer some questions? We have, hopefully I have all the questions.
Let's hope so. We fly right through these too.
Yeah, well, we're doing good. We're not that far into this. So anyways, Casper J at Casper_J. If a couple of prospects blow the doors off of camp, let's say Studnicka and one of Senyshyn or Steen, for example, who comes out and what do your new lines look like?
Tough one for me because of the way this NHL roster is kind of unfold, with training camp not that far away, just next month. So I really don't see Studnicka making the lineup, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be a first line center down at Providence to finish out his entry level deal. And for Studnicka himself, might have a better opportunity next season with a few departures, and the Bruins resign him obviously to an extension. So I really don't know anybody that I can think of that are actually going to blow the doors off of everybody else. That I just don't see it happening.
That's what I was thinking. For the same reason I just said that about Fabian, that I can't really think of any of the young guys that are. There are people who, like a Studnicka, who could maybe crack the lineup. You know, he's definitely in the mix of possibly making the final cuts, because you can only carry so many people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've done too many off-season moves that, like you said, a sure NHL contract have to have a spot kind of positions. And it's going to be a hard sell, I think, to really blow the doors off. I think they might already have in mind who they may work into the lineup if it pans out during camp and what they see in the action. But I can't think of anyone that will blow the doors off, though. That's kind of how I was thinking. So I'm not really worried about what the lines will look like. I'm still trying to mull over people we know have been in our lineup, plus the people we got for our lineup. Like, it's all a bottom six, man. My brain, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, what? Now there's too many options. Just kidding. All right, Ryan Ellis at @RyEllis_. Who do you predict the Bruins' most improved player ends up being this season? That's a good one.
This is a very good question. Yeah, most improved player. I just want to say Charlie Coyle. I really want him to do good, and I want, if he does take that second line center, I really want him to excel with a better complement of people higher up. I'm not saying that in his previous third line duties he had crap wings. I'm saying it's a higher quality of player with obviously Taylor Hall and Craig Smith potentially. We'll see what happens with that, but I just want him to get back on the point. Once he gets rolling on the point production and increased role as 2C, I think he's going to do really good, but he just got to get there first. And the struggles of not producing points. And at that role at 2C, I don't want to see him go pointless for stretches and stretches. You know what I'm saying?
it's hard to see who to improve because there are a lot of people who are kind of stagnant. I hope if we have to have, like, we don't know what will happen, but say, like, if Wags is on the team, I really hope he has a better year like he used to, kind of thing. If he's who ultimately it pans out, and that'll piss a lot of people off. But like you said, once the coaches see with their eyeballs what it looks like, they're going to make their ultimate decisions, whether we like it or not, or whoever the 22 people are that are in that thing. So, but I'm hoping it's Zaboro because I like Zaboro, and I really hope not in kind of a high pressure, hey, you and Jeremy Lozon now are the lefty. Good luck with that. Just try to follow their lead. I don't know. Just don't make it a hot mess. Okay. And overall, I think him and Lozon both, they had good moments. They had bad moments, both played some time with Charlie Coyle, and neither of them, I think.
McAvoy,
what'd I say? Coyle. Sorry.
Yeah.
But although they obviously aren't on par with Charlie Coyle, neither of them particularly looked like fish out of water crazy you wouldn't expect from rookie, maybe not quite ready to be in the role they're in defenseman. I hope it's him. But the most improved, it's hard to tell. They've been so stagnant for so long, but that's who I'm going with. I really hope it's Saboro.
Good choice.
All right. I know that wasn't exactly a question, Ryan, but again, it's nobody seems to be moving forward. But just like Mark said, I hope it's cool. All right. Kevin O'Keefe at Kevin_O'Keefe 89. If the Bruins bring back the Pooh Bear jerseys, how disgusted would you be on a scale of 1 to Toronto Maple Leafs? I know this was a joke question, but I got to answer this. I hate the Pooh and Meth Bear. Both of them. I hate them. So I'll raise it on a scale of 1 to Montreal Canadiens, because that's where my brain goes. It's past Montreal Canadiens. So past Montreal Canadiens, it's back to the Maroons.
I'm not a fan of I don't mind the Meth Bear patches.
Yeah, only the patches.
But I would not want it as your crest. No.
Exactly.
The Meth Bear, hell no. And Pooh Bear on LSD in the woods just tripping away. That's a big hell no too. I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan of the cuddly thing. Every time I think about this, I think about the movie Slapshot when the bus driver is beating the shit out of the bus with a sledgehammer, and Ned Braden comes out, hey, what are you doing? And he just turns around and goes, I'm making it look mean, and that's what I picture myself doing with the Pooh Bear jersey, is just stomping on it, trying to get it angry.
One of the bears is listening to hardcore industrial rock, tweaking out, and then the other one is at a Dead concert smoking, just oh man, just like you said, I dropped a couple in tabs and I smoked some truth. And why do we have to have a bear? Why can't we just compromise? Can we just do what I want? Have the spoked bee, because that's the best, let's face it. And then I actually like the old original bear that they bring back in the black and gold, obviously not in the old hideous cranberry and yellow or whatever. Put those on the patches. That way I don't have to hear the Meth Bear, Pooh Bear. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I know that was a silly question, because he says, and for my actual question, what are your thoughts on a possible Hampus Lindholm for the Bruins to address the left side top 4 defensemen? It's need at some point this season. Sorry.
Hampus is been in the rumor mill a lot in the past couple of years. Probably due to the fact that Don Sweeney has worked with the Anaheim Ducks in the past. So it's kind of a relationship. I'm not sure exactly who the GM over there is. I think I have a good idea, but I just don't want to say it can be wrong. But I don't know. I mean, I still want to see what we can do with the players that we signed this year. So that's something that we probably revisit during the season if the defense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I go with his actual question, at some point this season, not now kind of thing. So I agree with you. I think that they've made, whether I love it or not, I think they've made their moves on defense for now, and that's to look forward to see from there. There'll still be time if things look, maybe it's not going to be what they need before the season starts, but he has this year, he has his contract with the Ducks. He's played with them 8 years. He's pretty consistent, about a 30-point goal, point getter. He's a big guy, 6'3", but at this point, we don't have the cap space or need for it because we don't need if we need it. But I absolutely I'm ready to shake it up at the trade deadline. Again, if I can't go through 3 seasons of this, I am not a Sabres fan, and I cannot deal with always being in some sort of weird rebuildish mode. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm all for if shit isn't panning out, let's pull the trigger again. I love Jake DeBrusk, but in February, can see it if it ain't happening kind of thing, and whatever. So yes, I actually do think that he might be a good if we'll see what Fulbert having a little bit size on the back end doesn't help out there, but he wouldn't be a bad pick. He's a veteran. I mean, I don't know, but not right now. Definitely not right now. That's my actual answer, Kevin. Thank you for your questions. Whew, okay, focus, Inga. Come on. Woo, pump it up. Ready? Just kidding. I just have to say this. Dump and change ass in honor of our boy J-Ma. Thoughts on bringing Chara back? Okay, I know it was a joke, but I had to just see what your face would be like if I said it out loud. Those funny. I just for my own entertainment.
Those characters. Big hell no to Downtown Boosie of the Dump and Change Hockey Podcast. They are awesome. They are on the BNG podcast network, and we love them. But no, that's not even remotely funny. But something on a serious note, I do want to say, shout out to Jared Martin. Thoughts and prayers with your brother, and hopefully that you are going to be recovering. Or are recovering, and hope to talk to you again soon, brother, because definitely miss you. And, hearing the word that you were in the hospital for, I think he's still in the hospital. So we'll see what happens. But pulling for you, big guy.
Definitely love you. Lots of love and from your BNG family over here at the Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. So I'm partly why I thought that I just had to ask it to trigger. So in case... everybody can get
triggered.
Yeah, that's what I could think is I saw it. And he's like, but I love how Boosie's like, just kidding, before you're all over me about because trigger Mark. And I was like, oh dude, I have to ask. Okay, so anyways, love the Dump and Change boys. We love you, J-Ma. And you know where we are. Okay, Paul Bannister, at Paul Bannister, under
nice.
in case you're looking it up, says, regarding Providence Bruins, this one's for you, my friend, mostly probably. I'll try my best. Which players have two-way contracts? Are they likely to play in the NHL this season?
Well, Senyshyn did accept his qualifying offer, but has not yet signed, so we don't know what's going on with that. Who knows? I mean, injuries could happen. It happens every year. So you could see some players come up and get a taste of the NHL. I could see, Cameron Hughes getting, technically not a prospect anymore. They did resign him to a 1-year deal, 2-way. So I could see him getting some time at center if needed. Maybe Samuel Asselin could get a little taste here and there for his hard work down in Providence and at the East Coast Hockey League level with the, the former Bruins AA minor pro affiliate, the Atlanta Gladiators, which is now moved north. So the affiliate isn't in Maine now, which is awesome. But yeah, Stanika. He's on the ELC 1 more year, so he has availability to come up to the NHL and get some time if needed. Oscar Steen could be another one. I mean, there's a lot that you can go down. I don't want to go down the whole roster and say who is and who's not. I just wanted to mention some names that could possibly do it. But good question, though.
Oscar Steen's been talked about a lot lately. Yeah, I don't think many of them will see a chance unless there's injury related, as for going back to who will blow the doors off or maybe crack the actual lineup. But some of these options are nice to... I was going to say, but some of them, like a Steen, I would be excited to see Asselin a little bit to see what he, what would happen. So it would be nice if maybe, again, if things aren't going as solid as we want, maybe we leave one of those bottom 6 spots as someone can come in and out.
Another thing that's important to know too is how good this Boston Bruins team does in 21-22 and how far ahead they are of everybody else. You know, if they're a monster this year and just trucking over all the teams in April, you know, when towards the end of the season, that's a time, you know, if you're way ahead, you could bring up some of these kids and give them a taste and say, you know, here's your first NHL game. Thank you for all the work you've done down at the minor pro level to get to this opportunity. So that's not out of the realm, but obviously injuries are going to play a big part in a lot of the upward movement from the American Hockey League minor pro affiliate.
Yeah, so Paul also asked us, at this time, what are the top 6, bottom 6, and D lines going into the season if it started today?
I'm sorry, Paul. I did not do my homework on this, but
I would say, why don't we do this, Mark? What I'll do is I'll circle this, and I'm gonna re-ask you Paul's question next week, and we'll answer this question more fully.
Great. Paul's a loyal listener, so I know he's gonna be all about this. So yeah, we will make this a topic next week, Paul. And thank you. And I love that.
I'm gonna name it Paul's topic.
Yes.
And I actually say that. And now we're on to Paul's topic. But if you don't feel prepared to give Paul the answer that he does deserve, because
let me do some homework on that, and then we'll get you that answer, Paul. But thank you for the question anyway.
Thank you. Okay. I think that I'm gonna ask you one more question we'll talk about, and then maybe we can go towards our break, just because I'm starting to get dry throat from asking all the questions so bad before I start getting
very hyper today, Heather.
Huh?
Did you have a lot of sugar this morning?
I didn't. I'm just trying to, like I said, it has not been that kind of day nor that week, but once that camera's on, welcome to the Black and Gold Hockey. Same reason why I'm like, thank you for calling Geo's. How can I help you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
So that's what you do when I call for food? Oh.
No, actually, when I see your name, I go, I know you're going to edit that out, but that's between us. No, I'm just kidding. I don't actually say anything that vulgar. I may say, what's up? And he's like, what? He's like, hello. And I'm like, oh.
I'm like, feed me. Me and Kevin are hungry.
Yeah. So, anyways, Steve McCarron. Yes, Steve. No, Steve, you do not have to resubmit your question, because although it was forever and a day for me to try to hopefully have got everybody's question in case you're listening and you had submitted one. Anyways, McCarron asks, what kind of numbers should we expect from Hall without Krejci as his center? I don't think that 60 to 70 points is out of the question.
No, I'm not either. I'm thinking he's probably going to have close to a 30-goal season and probably 25, possibly 30 assist season. Who knows? But I think Hall's going to do well. I don't think it really depends on who that 2C is going to be, and how committed they are to, get the puck to a high caliber player like him that can definitely put the puck in the net consistently. So it all depends on who's feeding him, but I definitely could see 30-30, that's not out of the realm out of a player like him.
Yeah, I'm not, again, not to trigger you, but when you guys were talking the other day and someone brought up maybe dropping Pasternak down to the second line and made a good point about setting up pairs, so at least 2 of the 3 people on the line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, in this question, really, it's not about the wings. I mean, maybe Hall and Smith be together. I'm like, that's fine with me too, as it is. But just like if you went on that, I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm not saying do that, okay? My point being, Hall should always score at least 60 points. Always. Do you know what I mean? Like he is. And it is a good point, though, about like a high producing, depending on who it is. So if they did end up mixing up actually the right wings, like I feel like Nick Foligno, if Charlie Coyle doesn't work out, he would be a perfectly fine option to put there, because the elite players around them will be doing a lot of the work, as it is on any team, and everyone's part of the plug that helps it happen. Like you just got to be that little last gel. So I absolutely expect him to score at least 60 points, at least. But I would think he'd get at least up around 70, especially if Charlie Coyle gets going and he is indeed, like just what we know about if it is Charlie Coyle being the second C. I think that he's easy scoring upwards towards 70 points, not because Coyle is David Krejci, but I think he can also, Hall's the type of player that's all about, is he comfortable? Does he feel like other people are with him?
Good point.
Because he spent a lot of his career being depressed, probably because he has to drag everybody with him, but he doesn't have that. Because even in the Bruins, like even our lower end six or whatever, they're still can move the puck. They're pretty fast, and like has that element where he's really getting a workout amongst players. Obviously, that can be said about any NHL players, but I do think like if the Providence guys come up, I mean, they work the top guys hard. Like they don't go, this is their time to not just shine, but just to have some fun. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's fun to be the guy that stopped Taylor Hall from being able to score the goal, things like that. So I absolutely think at least 60 points. That's what I expect of him. He's not making his money as far as I'm concerned, and absolutely could do 70 depending on
the more the better for Taylor Hall. Absolutely. So
I love that dude. I'm so happy to have Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm going to say
I love Marina Mayer's. She's always like Taylor Hall's a Bruin. Still to this day tweets that out. I love it.
Yeah, that was again. I still like it was yesterday. I remember being like, and for the Bruins thing, and I'm like, Taylor, not Tyler. Did they just say Tyler? That's what we get stuck with now. Like, this is what it is. Oh my God, no, this is confusing. I'm so excited to be in the 1 and 2 slots there. Okay, I guess one more right before we break this.
Yeah, why not? Let's do one more SBNG.
Eugene Marino, or I believe that's how you say it, but sorry if I said it wrong. At Steelman 558. Possible additions. I think we're done with additions as of now.
I believe so too. I think that everything that was done in free agency is pretty much everything that you're going to see right now, unless there's a PTO that comes in at training camp to push some current members of this team. I don't have a list of available players that could be called to a PTO at Warrior Ice Arena when training camp happens, but I mean, it's not out of the realm of that happening. It happens with every team that they come in and try to work out a player and see if he can be a fit. Most of the time, it doesn't work out, but sometimes it does. When it comes to players like Suitcase Lee Stepniak. So
Lee Stepniak, good old Lee.
I used to. Every time somebody would bring him up, it's like, oh, we should go after Lee Stepniak, and I always called him Stumpniak, because I didn't see value in him. I don't know why. I wasn't a hater or anything. It's just I don't know.
I call Joseph Stumpy, and it.
Yeah, well, that's
really made me think of that because I saw someone had tweeted about the trade with LA earlier, and
Mike Comito.
I love Joseph Stumpy.
Mike Comito on Twitter. He's got a book coming out in the next. I think his second book is already out. Hockey 365. It's the second edition. So get that, go buy it, or buy it for somebody for Christmas. But he mentioned Joseph Stumple and what was the trade? Was it Sandy Moger?
Yeah, that's who it was.
For it was the goaltender Byron Defoe, and it was somebody else. Dmitry Kristich.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
The whole point was you said Stump, and I was like, I used to call Joseph Stumple Stumpy.
Yep.
I love that. Joseph. Joseph. That's it. All right. Yes, my friend. I think it's time perhaps to give a little moment for Mr. Bruce Sullivan to give us some information about his awesome stuff.
Absolutely do. Shout out to Bruce Sullivan. He's increased his efforts to get hand-signed stuff, particularly Bruins, for us to give away. But most recently, he has locked in with Sean Thornton. He's locked in with Mark Recchi. He's locked in with Jerry Cheevers and Rick Middleton. So a lot of these are reoccurring signings are happening. So this is a great time to listen to what he has to say in this mid-show commercial of his. And please sign up, go to the Facebook page, like and share, and win some cool prizes. But also in this, he provides an email address that you can email him and and get his inventory and costs. So check it out, and we'll be right back.
Hey Bruins fans, this is Bruce from Boston Sports and Music Memorabilia with your black and gold memorabilia moment of the week.
That's that jersey I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are proud to release Bruins memorabilia from our exclusive Andy Moog private sign. Take home your choice of white style or black style, hand-signed and inscribed with a 4-time All-Star inscription, JSA authenticated jersey for just $99 delivered. Or take home this JSA authenticated Andy Moog hand-signed inscribed puck for just $35. Or grab one of 2 different Andy Moog hand-signed 8x10 photos. Black style jersey or white style, yours for just $29. Or grab memorabilia from our exclusive Jerry Cheevers signing. We've got black style or white style jerseys with dual inscriptions, Hall of Fame 85 and Stanley Cup Champ 70-72 for just $79. And grab one of 2 Jerry Cheevers pucks. We've got the Bruins hand-signed inscribed JSA authenticated puck, or the 1970 Stanley Cup Champ commemorative puck. Your choice, just $35. Grab a Jerry Cheevers mini, hand-signed and inscribed for $89. Or take home the iconic JSA authenticated, hand-signed and inscribed mask photo, yours for just $29. Or grab the mask special edition JSA authenticated with custom framing and matting, yours for just $99. For more information on our dozens of Bruins hand-signed pieces, and for your chance to win free memorabilia each week, check us out at our Facebook page, Boston Sports and Music Memorabilia, or email me directly at bostonsportsandmusic@gmail.com. And be sure to check in each week right here to the Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. Let's go!
What's up, Bruins fans? We are back. Just heard from the awesome Bruce Sullivan, and he's got some fantastic stuff, man. Oh, Andy Moog signature. A lot of great things going on over at Boston Sports and Music Memorabilia. We're big fans of his, and you should too. Sign up. I keep saying sign up. Go to Facebook and like his page and become a member of his group. And directly talk to him from there, or send him an email, like I mentioned before. But we are back talking some Boston Bruins hockey, but for right now, I gotta trigger my friend Heather's vibes right now and let her know that our friend and soon-to-be friend of the show, because I do want to have her on the program when we talk about the Washington Capitals, maybe a game of the week kind of segment in the future. But Sammy Silver of Washington Hockey Now.com is reporting that per sources, it looks like NHL players will get to lace them up for the 2022 Olympics.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
Obviously, a lot of work to get done for this to happen. But it sounds like, per this report, that it is on the right track. So I'm really psyched about that. As 2 diehard American kids. Old people, whatever you want to call us. This is a great moment for all the countries that have and are going to have players represent their native countries. So pretty cool stuff. Thank you, Sammy, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Yeah, obviously this is nothing official, like nothing's come out from the NHL that's been seen yet, but that's hopeful, and I love the Olympics. You know how I feel. I was pissed when they let them play, but I've been really pissed if they're not going to let them play, so yay! Gold, yes. Let's get the gold, please. God, let us win the gold medals. But yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad. Yeah, I didn't see that. I'm glad you drew attention to that article. I am going to actually read that and get involved. And hopefully maybe this week we'll hear something from the NHL. And yay.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, oh my God, I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it. And you know how I feel. Everybody should have a chance to represent their country, because that is where you are, you know? My country, right or wrong. That's the America I was raised in. That's why I don't understand us fighting each other all the time about stupid shit. So, all right. That being said, we still got some BNGs to get through, my friends. So let's.
Oh my God, BNGs are coming out of our ears.
I know. Thank you for everyone who responded over the last we extended it the last 2 weeks, I guess I should say. So, anyways, Neil Macdonald at Macdonald Neil. Who is a surprise breakout player on the back end, and have the Bruins tried making Moore's contract moving Moore's contract in order to gain cap space, even if it means adding a pick or a prospect and that type of deal? That's one question. He has two questions, so let's focus on that one first. I think they can't move Moore's contract. That's on the Moore front. I think just until he at least can play again, there's really no moving Moore. And the Bruins seem to actually, like, people want to worry about Krejci. The Bruins seem like they're willing for John Moore to be on their back end. So just throwing it out there. Mark?
Yeah, I don't believe you can do anything until he gets healthy and a clean bill of health is stated. Breakout player of the year on the back end. I want to say, let's go with, I mean, the cliche will always say freaking Charlie McAvoy. I wanted to go outside of the realm of everybody else's thinking, because you know how crazy I am sometimes.
You're a nut job guy.
Nut job from Boston.
Yeah.
I do want to say the breakout player of the year in the back end is going to be Brandon Carlo. Reason why that guy is going to be a new father soon, I believe. Or did they already have the baby?
I think I can't remember, but I thought the baby was being born soon. Last I saw some lovely pictures.
Well, you know what? Being a new father is also a confidence booster, I believe. I don't have children, so no confidence here. I don't. I just think that is just something that's awesome, and just, you know, it could, you know, really boost his play. His presence on the ice, which is, I believe, he's so underrated. You know, Brandon Carlo is one of those types of players that every team would love to have. You know, he's the quiet type to stand, shut down type of guy, but also you want to make sure that he stays healthy enough to complete the task for the upcoming year. But I think he could be a breakout candidate. Let's put it that way.
If we're going to go with people who are actually most likely to be on the team, again, I cross my fingers. That's Savard, because I do love Savard. But again, I'm not a hypocrite, so I will again go with we are a little clogged up with what's going on, and is there enough room and whatever. So I hope it's him. But if it's going to be someone who maybe isn't on the actual one, I want it to be Mason Lohrei. I want it to be him to take leaps and bounds to, like, I just love this dude, and I just can't wait to see him. I just can't. So he's going to be the one prospect, Mark, you watch me be very impatient with. I can't. No, but in all seriousness, I think Savard, I think he's kind of got the jitterbugs out, and now he knows that there's room to have a slot on that left side, because nothing's really, like, permanent over there right now. And that's my choice.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Neil, and thank you everyone so far for the questions. So Casper J sent us a few of them over the last few weeks. Oh wait, did I? Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry, Neil. Let me get back to you one more second. Surprise player that can contribute this season: Lauko, Senyshyn, Ashawn, Steen. Thoughts? Like, you know, I guess that's kind of like any of these guys. That goes back to who might make the lineup.
Yeah, I don't think any of those guys make the lineup, to be honest with you. Like we said in a previous BNG, not to cut the question off short or anything like that. It's so hard to figure out right now with so many, you know, you got under 50 days to go until the season starts. So the lineups are the speculation on what the lineup's going to be is just going to be few and far between for me.
Okay, so Casper also asked us, Senyshyn, Lauko, Steve, Lascelles, and Studnicka has got to be one of the fastest groups in the AHL. Obviously, we've already discussed. We don't know if Baby and where he's playing yet will work. You know, that will work that out. It will work itself out. I thought Senyshyn and Lauko took big steps in their games last year. Any chance that they could force their way onto the Bees before the end of the year? Which is an interesting question because that all goes back, I think, to injuries.
Yeah, injuries on the left side. Lauko could come up. On the right side, Senyshyn could come up if he signed. Obviously, we talked about that earlier. Steen and so on. Yeah, anything could happen. I'm really excited to look. I'm really excited to see the Providence Bruins lineup in action myself because that league is getting back to normal in a division that's going to expand from 3 teams to 8 and travel, and there's going to be a lot of good things that are going to come out of this. Plus the lineup that is going to be instilled to have orchestrated by Ryan Mougenel. So it's going to be fun. And this team's, Lyle and Ashan, they were my favorite pairing in the American Hockey League last year, just by their mobility and Lyle being that big shutdown guy, but who also can pinch in offensively, and Ashan with his speed. And the kid might be under 6 feet, but he freaking plays like a bulldog. So the defense is going to be really good. Victor Berglund's coming over. Urho Vakanainen's still around. Nick Wolf just got signed to another year deal. So there's a lot of exciting things that are going to happen down in Providence. And if you want to see this, definitely go to the website, secure some tickets, and get involved in watching these at least players at the minor pro level.
Of the players that you mentioned, I would say Lauko and Studnicka are the most likely that you'll see up in the lineup, depending on injury and such throughout the year, mostly for their veteran kind of already being in the system, but also I think because developmentally they're the most rounded ones to really do that if injuries occur. So there's always a chance on this team. God knows we can never start the year with the same team we finish with.
That's true. That's true.
So everything is Patrice Bergeron's fault at He Loves Bruins. Who do you guys think is the alternate captaincy? Like, who gets the alternate captaincy? Carlo, that's it. Mic drop.
Yep, mic drop on the Carlo. We saw him have it at the game in I want to say Aspen, but it's not Aspen.
It's Denver.
Where was the outdoor game? Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
He had the A for Lake Tahoe. And I kind of think that, I think he's got, I don't know. This is such a tough one, but yeah, I think it's definitely going to be, I can't think of names right. Brandon Carlo. Jesus Christ. All right.
This is a special part. Anyways, we love Carlo. I love Carlo. I'm picking Carlo. You can pick whoever you want, but I think Brandon Carlo gets it just because, again, his steadiness. He's just fucking steady, dude. Like, he's just a steady presence on that back end throughout all of this last 5 or 6 years, 5 years or whatever of transition, 4 or 5 years. I don't know the exact number. I think 5 years. I think Brandon Carlo this year might be his 5th year or whatever. But so that's it. I say Brandon Carlo. There are many worthy candidates, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm picking Brandon Carlo. Do you guys see a possible Rask return? If so, do you think he will be playing or coaching? This goes back to that, like I said, now Tuukka Rask may be coming in as a coach.
Who is this from?
This was still from the Everything's Bergeron's Fault submission.
Oh. I don't see Tuukka Rask coming back as a coach, honestly, unless they want to move on from Mike Dunham, and I don't think they're going to move on from Bob Essenza anytime soon. So I don't see him coming back as a coach, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't really imagine Tuukka being back, but who knows? Now he seems to be. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm allergic to Tuukka Rask coming back. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
No, I don't know what that was all about. I don't know. I don't think someday Tuukka may be a coach here, but again, I think the goaltending coaching is kind of set the way it is.
Yeah.
So our old friend Clovis Roy at Clovis Roy 1, Old Man Roy, says, "Hey guys and gal, do you think Sweeney makes one more move for a top D-man to play with Charlie McAvoy And will it involve Jake DeBrusk being moved, or maybe one of the summer signings? That's
I don't see anything being done anytime soon with another player coming in. It's going to be in the season before the trade deadline, and Jake DeBrusk could be a leverage piece involved. Who knows? But I don't see a big trade coming. I think they want to go with what they have right now and see how it works out.
I think that Faubert, I want to say Faubert, but Faubert was the big signing on the back. You know what I mean? Like, he was the big signing for now. Again, I think we're sitting on it till the trade deadline at this point. See what shakes out through training camp in the first month or two, and then just ride that shit until February or whatever. I mean, obviously you could pull it earlier, but you know what I mean. That's my answer to that one. Thank you, Clovis. I hope you're well. It's interesting to do the B&Gs again, because a lot of people, you're like, oh,
yeah, you get them all out from the woodwork. We haven't been doing much of B&Gs because it was just time. Time is. I wish we had more time, because I want to go through all the B&Gs and be more prepared to properly answer them. But to do that, you got to do a ton of homework, and that right now is just not in my future. So we'll do these sporadically, but not on a weekly basis anymore.
All right, George Bartolo at Barman Blues. Are you confident with the present Bruins roster?
Yeah, I want to say I am. I think, like I said before several times, I think that this roster is going to go through trials and tribulations, but that's what new members to a team will do to you. You have to step back, reevaluate, and see what your major plan is moving forward to the 21-22 season. And I think it's going to be a good team. I'm not going to say Stanley Cup this and Stanley Cup that and rah, rah, rah. I'm not a rah, rah guy, actually. But I'm definitely going to say that this is going to be a challenging team. And I think that they're going to be – I think that the signings that they made were ones that can show some aggression on the ice. Not – we didn't go out and get the Tom Wilsons. We didn't go out and get, the Reeves character and so on, but we did get some complementary pieces that have offensive capabilities too. So, but I think Nick Foligno can bang some bodies around. He's still got it, even though he's a little, older and maybe a little slower. But still, I think that this team's going to do well, and I mean, maybe not as well as a Stanley Cup, but maybe second round. Let's get past the second round first. So,
oh my God, we're starting to sound like Toronto fans. Only they're still in the
Isn't that bad?
Round. Just get out of the second round. Just get out of the second round. I can't. I would say I don't know if confident would be the word I'd use, but I'm also not confident in this team. It's very strange because I am a hyper emotional girl, but Mark will tell you, and I was actually thinking when you were saying that, I appreciate that as someone who's known you a long time. You're no longer the house is burning down kind of fan, like you used to.
I can't get stressed out. My heart rate doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. So, but I'm pretty even-keeled fan. I get upset, but overall, I'll just stay with the ship. If it's sinking, if it's floating high, like, whatever, it's sports. I do it because I watch it because I love it, not because in the real world it's actually impactful in like how I can function in my everyday life. Although sometimes as a sports fan, it does feel that way. Like, oh man, don't make eye contact or whatever. Sorry, shout out to my first period class the day after we blew our lead on Philly in 2010. It was funny. They were all quiet. Like, what do we do? I'm like, it's fine. It's not your fault they lost. It's not my fault. They'll play next season. And they did, and we won a cup. So, see, everything will be fine. But I think everything will be fine. They'll tweak it. They'll do what they need to do. And then, if not, I really come back to, then fine. Let's just blow this shit up. Like, just blow the ship up. I don't care. They're literally pick 4 players, and everyone else must go. All right. Casper J also asks us who earns a regular spot on the roster first, Vac, Ashan, or Lyle.
Lyle.
I had a feeling
I do want to say Lyle for the fact is that he's a bigger defenseman, and I'm not knocking Jack Ashan at all and his talents. The kid's a great skater, good shot. He has the professional tools. But I just think his size is the one that's going to probably bump him out in the immediate future. I think that Jack might have a shot later on in time while he does his due diligence in the minor pro levels and continue to build muscle and to continue to build confidence in themselves. But Lyle's just one of those prototypical defensemen that can play the shutdown role, can play the offensive role, but also he's just really good. And I was really surprised that he went undrafted. I can't believe he went undrafted and the Bruins just came in and with a scouting staff and just said, let's sign this guy, AHL deal only. And then he worked his way right into an entry level. So that's huge on the scouting. With that, a scouting staff that traditionally gets shit on pretty much daily about, past mistakes in 2015. Trigger.
Are you serious? We were having such a good time.
I know, I'm kidding. But yeah, Lyle's my guy. Lyle's definitely my guy.
No, as the Bruins do, they are geniuses at plucking undrafted players as necessary kind of thing. There's a few of them, they just... All right, well, and as we talked about, I think more players do go undrafted, but good eye on the scouting. I don't shit on the scouts, not just because of you're making me fucking say it, the 2015 draft, but because it takes a lot to be a professional sports scout. So I do not have the level of professional knowledge to fucking disagree with the scouts. Now, whether the players pan out or not is not the scouts' job, okay? Because ultimately, the scouts don't actually draft the players. They just publish reports and give them to the people who do make the decisions and give them some suggestions, All right. Thank you, Ryan Duffy at rduffy26. What are your expectations for the second line this season? Do you guys think Coyle is the right fit? Will Hall score more than 60 points? We already answered that. We expect him at least to have 60, but definitely probably. Will Hall... I already said that. Craig Smith, over or under 25 goals. Let's start with the first one. What are my expectations for the second line? I expect that they fucking produce. Because I can't go another season of only the production line, because I won't use the other P word. The production line. The only consistent scoring fucking team. And now, because I need that, because now we don't have Krejci, who is like the fourth scorer, you know what I mean? And Krug went to St. Louis 2 seasons. So I need everyone else to like really blossom, right? We need Taylor Hall to be Taylor Hall and Charlie Coyle to be Charlie Coyle, if that's who indeed is. And I guess I'd answer the fit part. He seems to be the obvious fit for now, but I'm also not afraid for it not to be Charlie Coyle. So I'll let you talk. We'll talk about Smith after. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Coyle and Hall on the left and Smith on the right. And I think it's going to be a productive line. I just want to see Charlie get that, Charlie Coyle for that matter, just get on a point producing role, a train that it can't be stopped until hopefully mid June. so yeah, I just want to see him. I want to see his confidence get up and just like, I know he can score. I know he can. He can put the puck on the net. He's got to believe in himself and do it. So, and like I said earlier, when you are in that role and that line is solely made up for secondary scoring, in my opinion, you have to produce. And if that doesn't work out, then we do have some complementary pieces that, I mean, if he needed to be dropped back down to the third line center, that, Eric Hall could possibly go into the 2C. Nick Foligno could go in the 2C, but that's kind of stretching it a little
bit. Stadnicka could go in the 2C. I just triggered some people.
I'm a huge fan of Stadnicka and everything, a great kid, hard worker and so on, but I don't see it this year, honestly.
I was going to just... What was I going to say about... This goes back to what we talked about, though. Like, I feel like Charlie Coyle, if we get Bruins Charlie Coyle, with his get-up-and-go attitude and Smitty Superman antics, Taylor Hall is going to be comfortable and relaxed, and they can definitely probably put a lot of points on the board and do. We won't have to be sitting here 2 months from now, secondary scoring. If I have to have that conversation again, I can't. I smash my head in. It's one of those recurring Bruins nightmares conversations. But, yeah, if... I expect the second line produces. That's what I expect. I expect Taylor Hall to earn his fucking $4 million, even though he took a discount. That's still a lot of money. And I expect Charlie Coyle, now that he's had surgery, he said he's feeling good. I trust you. I trust you, Charlie, but show me, because if not, I don't have an issue with you being moved somewhere else too. I'll package you and Jake DeBrusk right the hell out of here if things don't pick up. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's just it. I expect that. So, Smitty, over, that's a hard one. Over or under 25 goals?
I'm going to say over, because I want that line to just be so good.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go. If Charlie Coyle is indeed the fit, which he seems, at least with familiarity, because you also have to think neither Smith nor Hall have been Bruins all that long either. So at least Coyle is someone who is more clicked into the system. And now that they've kind of seem all right in the system, it might be easier to get them together than Eric Holla and them. You know, that's all I'm thinking too. So at least Holla, if you hear me, Eric. Just kidding. All right, thanks for getting silly. Man, Chris Blackie, hashtag Krejci forever, baby. What player, also Dan Hine, I just have to point out. Weird. Me and Chris Blackie, I'm telling you, we got the same mind frame. But anyways, he says, what player do you think will have a good season that nobody is talking about? I have my answer.
Go ahead.
Allmark. I think Allmark, if he can play as well as he did in Buffalo with good defensive players who didn't play well defensively, I think if the Bruins defense can settle down and he has people who can put a lot of pucks in the net down the other end, he may squash the whole Tuukka Rask conversation.
I'm gonna go with you on this one. Because I was thinking somebody else, but no, this is good. Yeah, Allmark, because there's a lot of people that don't think that he was a good signing. And for that matter, and you know how I love chaos, I want to see him do good. So all these freaking whiners that, said that, why don't you keep Halak around or Halak's better than Allmark and all these narratives that went around. I just want to see it thrown back in their face after he receives a Vezina trophy or Vezina, or however you want to call it.
It's
Vezina,
called the Vezina.
fine,
That's
whatever.
what I'm going to call it.
So
no, that's a good point, because you know what else? Allmark is younger than Halak, and you know I love me Yaroslav Halak, but at the time, we've moved on, okay? But I do feel like he might, even if he does what he did in Buffalo, that will help the team, I don't know what that is. And he might, like I said, just pop off and squash this whole is Tuukka coming in and weaseling out. It might be him and Sway all the way. All the way, Sway. All right, I don't know. All right, thanks, Chris. Everything is Patrice Bergeron's fault. He will also ask us, who do you think wears the A next season? And we answer that. We both think Brandon Carlo. Just out of curiosity, who was the person you were going to say? And I said Allmark, and it threw you for my vote.
I was gonna say Coyle.
Charlie Coyle.
Yes, Charlie Coyle.
He's just gonna blossom into a beaut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're almost done with these hashtag SBNGs.
Holy shit!
Let me see. That was a lot of questions. Thank you to everybody for submitting your questions. Again, we are going to get back into this because I think BNGs are fun, and it gives you stuff to talk about, makes you think. I think we got all of them. So thank you. And next time we throw it out, just as a reminder, use hashtag AskBNG, because that's how Inga does not have to scroll and make sure it all gets
Hit that algorithm, folks. Hit that algorithm, because that's how we save all these. We go back, and it's so easy because you scroll up a couple, and bam, they're all there.
All right, so there's just a few more things I think we can start wrapping towards wrapping or whatever in our Patreons. But thanks again for the hashtag AskBNGs. You guys are the best. All right, so the Bruins, this was from the other week, but I just wanted to quickly mention it again about the DeFilippo Park and Prince Street North End being opened. The Bruins were there during their ribbon cutting ceremony. It's a little multi-sports complex. near the Boston Garden. It was funded by the Bruins Foundation, the NHL, and the city of Boston. And it's like ongoing, like, kind of improvements on accessibility to hockey rinks in the city. The Bruins Foundation, Bob Sweeney was there for him, and Charlie Jacobs was over there for the ribbon cutting, and Andrew Raycroft did a Willie O'Ree clinic afterwards. But you had brought this up because you are a big proponent of communities investing in, like, in like multi things like this, like with the basketball court here and the tennis court there, and whatever, like a street hockey kind of rink or whatever, deck hockey, whatever could be created. I don't know, whatever different levels of that you could actually get people to invest the money in to create. You guys used to play. In the winter, you guys would be on the ponds, and in the summer, you guys were always at the tennis courts, which is now where the skate park is. So, like, projects like that, and investing in that. The one thing before I let you get into your, investing in the stuff, and not just our community, but like generally the communities, is that it's about fucking time, though, that you're doing these kind of things. Because part of building the Garden back in the 90s was you were going to, in conjunction with the Department of Recreation, create more rinks, update all those 70s busted down ass rinks, and the ones like Kasabuski that are even really older, things like that. And I'm sure all over the state there are stories of rinks that haven't been updated in 40 years or whatever kind of thing. And that didn't, I am by no means saying they did not follow through on any of the promise of the money they were to invest. I'm just saying they didn't execute it the way they were supposed to, or in any way called a timely manner. So, but yay, it's open. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing for the community, and what it does is it really sets the tone for a child's interest early. And I like the way that they do stuff like this. Listen, hockey's expensive. A lot of parents these days, I mean, money's tight, this and that, if you have it, invest it and so on. But I just don't want to see good parents, hardworking parents, get involved in something that the kid really doesn't want to get involved in. And I think that having recreation like this at this level, whether it be, certain days it's street hockey, certain days it's inline, you're getting to know the game. And you're working on your skills and so on. And if a child doesn't like it, then move on to baseball or soccer, something that you like. But I like having these opportunities. This is what Canada has all the time. You look at, listen, I'm a huge Google Maps guy. You know what I mean? I like looking at cities and so on. But from afar, like in Toronto, you can see these outdoor facilities everywhere. Everywhere. And this is how that area gets involved in interest. Now, in our area, our community of Amesbury, Massachusetts, I find it a little disheartening that the interest isn't there to have a full Amesbury High School hockey team that you have to go to another school and partner up with. That's disturbing to me. It really is. And the forefathers of the Amesbury Maples are rolling around in their graves because those were the opportunities that they would have gone out there and really forced their way into getting kids involved and so on. It's just so hard sometimes that we have all this space for soccer fields and all this space for everything else, but the one sport that we should be freaking holding on to, we're barely holding on to when it comes to interest. And I'm not discrediting any of the acts of the Amesbury youth hockey program. This is not my intention at all. And or any of the board members or fundraising that they do or who they're teaming up with currently right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not criticizing anybody. I just want to see the interest get there. If the interest is there, the youth programs will have more interest, obviously. So that's kind of my long rant.
My comment on whatever is a couple things. One, we live in America and not Canada, and part of the problem is we have so many sports. Like not because in Canada kids don't also play soccer and baseball and things like that, but in Canada hockey is the national sport. In America, hockey, basketball, soccer, field hockey, whatever, cup stacking, we have so many ridiculous. We put the spelling bee on our sports channel. That's how competitive, set-minded we are, okay? But in all seriousness, though, you have so many choices. I do think when you get to the high school level, a lot of kids who always got to play hockey and basketball growing up make a choice one way or another. You lose kids to go into, whatever, upper level programs, if that's what their skill set is. But I do think one point, not just for you about generating actual players, but interest in the sport is there are a lot of people who are very sporty. So you're not the best hockey player, but you and your buddies can, like you said, play street hockey. Like you're not trying to go to BU just because your buddy is, but you certainly like to fuck around with your buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that generates fans that later go and buy D1 hockey jerseys and NHL jerseys and potentially some kind of Rooster jersey that says Krejci with the accent on the back. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I really want a jersey. But yeah, you know what I mean? So like, it's not even that, just interest in it. But I think sometimes in America, imagine how bad it is in other places if it's like that in the Northeast where hockey is a big deal. I also think you have to, and I think I've said this to you before. So like, if we really want a rink to be here, then we've got to take an initiative to try and start make the noise, not just here, but in any community. And sometimes that you have to make the noise before they do, because there's all this other stuff that towns and stuff are doing. So if they're not hearing, that's something we should be trying to figure out how to get funded.
It's being heard. I'm often on the Facebook Live Thursday meetings, and I constantly, anytime recreation is brought up, I'm like, speaking of recreation, how about this? And the answers are, we're thinking about bringing back the skating area back to the park. And I'm like, no, it's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Finding a slice to,
yeah.
And not only that, but I mean, they're going to have to.
Maybe if we get a new mayor, we'll figure something out.
I don't know. New mayor, old mayor, mayors. We're not getting into the craziness that's going to be the elections this year. Right? Ooh, it's going to heat up soon. But so that is one thing for me, because it's just from a business standpoint. It's not just about, sure, you're going to grow some hockey players, but you also, kids need places to go. Maybe you guys, I mean also me on many occasions, wouldn't just wander around and be little hoodlums if we had things to do, especially in smaller towns that aren't in Toronto and have access to those things, or Boston, it's great. And I'm so glad they have things to do, but I agree with you having the support thing, just generally, but I do feel we're overwhelmed by sports. Like there are so many options and kids do so many things here. I don't know, but you see a lot of times though, that's why, like we live in suburbia. So here, it's still like Wayne's World. Game on! Like they put their two families bring their, kind of everyone throws a stick in the middle and grabs up or whatever. So, all right, that I just wanted to mention that. Sorry, okay, stay focused. Oh yeah, it's official. We're gonna have the ads on the jerseys this season. Okay, I don't care if we have ads on jerseys. I just ask that it doesn't become ridiculous like the European jerseys. Like if every team has a sponsor or something, like that's cool. I can't deal with, like when David Krejci's jersey got held up, I couldn't even read Krejci because there were so many other logos. I'm like, what team does he play for? Mercedes? I can't tell. Just for the record, I don't know if Mercedes is actually a sponsor of Krejci's new team. I just had to make up a European company, and that's what I picked. Go ahead.
I'm all for whatever revenue is needed to be taken in and create more cap space. Ultimately that's what it is going to do. The stickers, the little stickers on the helmets generated $100 million in advertising revenue for the league, and that's a lot of money. And a lot of these little things are moving the bar of the hard salary cap right now, or the flat salary cap, I should say, with reports of it going up $1 million, so $82.5 million in the next year or whatever. So these types of things are moving the needle to get more cap space and better players on each team and so on, have a little more flexibility. I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm not saying I hate it. I really do not want to see him go as far as what some European leagues are doing. But if there's 4 or 5 of them on there, I'm not gonna lose my shit.
That's going to depend on size. Like I said, in North American hockey, the logo is the team's logo. Like the Blackhawks logo, or whatever they may be called in the future. I don't know. However, everything will be, that is the logo. The Rangers logo, whatever it is, like that is the logo. So if you're going to do that, it better be tiny little ones. Like a helmet sticker plus a shoulder pad. But like I said, I don't want it to be tacky. I guess that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? Not too many. But I also understand there's only so many dashes you can sell to like have a visibility for the company to invest their money on the ice. So, all right. So I just wanted to mention that was a big, good money thing. Also, women's worlds are going on right now. They started last weekend. We were going to actually talk before they started playing, right around when they were starting to play. But they're up in Calgary. The tournament is 31 games. It was started on August 20th. We're nearing the end. The semis are starting tomorrow. The women have been doing pretty well in the pre-tournament. They beat Russia 6-0, and then they beat in the preliminaries, beat Finland 3-0, and they beat Switzerland 3-0, and Russia 6-0, and then we lost to Canada 5-1. But again, you know me, I'm a North American hockey girl, so okay, I guess if we're gonna lose to Canada, and then we bounced back 10-2 against Japan. But shout out to the Japanese women for making some history, representing their country in the women's worlds this year. On that, I think they have some games going on today, so the brackets aren't set for the semis and whatnot. But yep, just shout out to women's worlds. I'm glad it sucks that they couldn't have it in Halifax last year, but I'm glad they're having it in Calgary this year. And to all the ladies in the tournament, you're badasses. Woo! That's all I want to say.
No, it's very cool, man. I'm so happy that they got this off and running.
Mm-hmm. All day long and twice on Sunday. Also to note, we've won the last 5 World Women's. It's like we win the women's. So hopefully we do it again this year, but who knows? And another thing just before we start wrapping up is Henrik Lundqvist retired. Oh my God, I can't. You knew it was coming. Hank is awesome. I don't know who doesn't love Henrik Lundqvist. He's just awesome. He's like handsome and suave and awesome at goaltending. Unfortunately, obviously, because of the health reasons, he didn't get to play in the Capitals, so I guess he's a Ranger forever. But good luck in your supermodel career. Next, sir, that will be what you're doing because he is a fashionista, but awesome. He's going to be in the debate like Tuukka Rask. Should you be in there? Like your numbers, is it worth it? Because obviously he didn't get a cup. Him, Carey Price, those kind of guys. Go ahead.
Congratulations on a fantastic career. Absolutely. Lundqvist is one of my favorite goaltenders besides any Boston Bruins goaltender and Tuukka Rask particularly. But I really like what Roberto Luongo tweeted out. He said he got in touch with Lundqvist on Twitter and said, "How about we start a podcast? 2 goats, no cup." So, no cups, whatever. And I thought that was pretty funny. But I hate to burst your bubble on his fashion career. But I believe that he will be a fantastic host on the show Jeopardy.
Yeah, you think?
So
that'd be fabulous.
He's got that Alex Trebek suave.
I think Trebek wouldn't mind Henrik Lundqvist replacing him. Exactly. I mean, girl from Blossom might be mad that somehow she's still not allowed to host the Jeopardy, even though she had raised reviews. But Henrik Lundqvist. Yeah, I do appreciate the goaltenders, and there's few people who give me the super warm and fuzzies the way of, say, like a Marty Brodeur does, and Henrik Lundqvist is definitely him. Like the Dominic Hassiks. There are a few people that I'm just like, oh my God, this is so hot to watch. And also Henrik Lundqvist is hot, but no, just kidding. We love you. Have a great whatever. We'll see you somewhere, I'm sure, sir. And enjoy your family. And it was a career of careers.
Yeah. No, it was awesome.
All right, so keep an eye on these dates. September 21st, which is a little less than a month away from today. We will be playing the Capitals in the preseason. That's our first preseason game. We're not sure quite when camps or whatever are shaking out, but that should be around soon, like really the details on camps and, like you said, the prospect challenge type-y thing. And the NHL opens up on October 12th, which I know everyone listening are NHL junkies, so they'll be watching there. Bees open up on the 16th, as do the Providence Bruins, who will be having their little ceremony because they have not been allowed to have their banner ceremony. So they're going to have a double one against the Bridgeport Islanders. I know. I didn't know if I wanted to say the full name or just say versus Bridgeport, and then my brain kind of paused because I was looking at what the next thing was to remind. Sorry, I was having a hard time multitasking there for a second. The Pride open up on November 6th versus the Minnesota Whitecaps, and there are other things for the NHL, and potentially, I guess, February 7th to the 22nd, Olympic pause, NHL. Great. Yes. Rate and review the Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. Shout out to our lovely podcast, not just us, but Dump and Change and the Lindor Podcast and Short Shift and Puck Lines and Beehive and Heart of Lions and Causeway Kings and Bruins Breakdown, Holtz on Hockey. Your Maples Podcast, remember the Maples. Oh, and a new one that will be coming out, Poke the Pod. Follow all of them if you like the sweet sounds of just hockey fans doing hockey fan things, thinking that, we're armchair experts, but also not ourselves too seriously because we are not actual experts. blackandgoldhockey.com, all the awesome writers over there. And all that, Mark, we're going to the Patreon. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure we got everything in, looking at the papers, looking around. Take us home, my friend.
Take it easy, Psycho.
I can't. Right. One of those days, just want to get it done with before another world war breaks out in my home.
The life of having two boys. All right. Anyway, we do have a Patreon account. If you want to get involved, there's some awesome prizes that you can win just for $1. Please go to patreon.com/Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. Donate $1, as I said, and you'll be entered to win into a weekly giveaway. But also for that $1, a hand-signed jersey giveaway once a month. September is quickly coming. It's only days away. But the middle of September, we're going to be giving away this hand-signed Rick Middleton jersey, Boston Bruins jersey, beautiful, stitched and everything, fully official, fully authenticated, beautiful stuff. And this is from the awesome Bruce Sullivan at Boston Sports and Music Memorabilia. So, not only go to his Facebook page and contact him for stuff for your fan cave, but also you can win stuff here just for $1. So that is awesome. We love giving away stuff, and we love our Patreon members because they're the bee's knees. And speaking of bee's knees, it's last week I forgot because I was on a panic on Wednesday. We had to rush out a quick episode, and usually when I get groups of people like that, I lose focus. I'm getting old, guys, so I forget things. So we did not do a Patreon giveaway last week. We're going to make up for that today. So we're going to do 2 prizes. Last week's winner, our very own Maria from Watertown. Awesome, Maria. I will send you a gift sooner or later. And this week's winner. That's
reassuring.
Yes. This week's winner is Michelle Grimm. So thank you, Michelle. Another awesome person. So you guys are absolutely amazing. And like I said, please go to the patreon.com/Black and Gold Hockey Podcast.
We love you guys.
Yes,
we'll give a shout out to our Patreon people and I'll list off their names again. Maybe we'll do it when we give away the Ricky Middleton jersey. We'll do that for the start of the season. Actually, when we talk on that day, it'll be the day after the first of the season, the whole opener. So that's a very exciting day. We'll do it then.
And I think October's giveaway, I'm looking at the stack right now, and it looks like a hand-signed Jerry Cheevers Hall of Fame jersey. So very exciting for that. So we have jerseys out till, I think we have them now till mid-2022. So we're rolling on this. So get involved, help us. We're a small sports media company, so half of your investment goes to paying the bills here and providing this podcast, the website platform, and everything that goes along with running a small sports media company. But also half of that goes into buying more stuff to give away for the awesome Patreon members like yourself. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing well, safe. It's coming fall. We're a Grizzly jersey number away. Things are coming quickly. So we're looking for writers. We're looking for podcasters. If you want to get on board, please let me know. Send me an email at blackandgoldproductionsllc@gmail.com and talk to me about, writing or podcasting or whatever you would like to do as a team.
I feel like Crazy Train should have been in the background. If you want to get aboard this crazy train, that's the BNG family.
That's right. Stations
humming all the time. What I love about us is we don't even agree with each other, which is great because, sometimes everyone's just like, we are robots. And
we're like the brother and sister Bruins hockey talk. We get at each other's throats most of the time, but we find ways to settle ourselves down and bust through a 2-hour program once a week. So
I particularly like when other people are hating on like prospects and stuff, and then because I'm not rah prospect girl, you sometimes take it out on me like it's my fault. They're also like, dude, I didn't say that about Jack Studnicka or Oscar Steen. I just said, you know me, I wait and see. You show me the money, or show me and then I'll let them give you the money. Actually, I don't get a choice either way, but it's awesome always talking Bruins with you. Sorry we missed out last week. Thank you for all the BNG submissions. That was like a marathon. At least I had something to talk about, not just me rambling. Ingle loves hockey. Mark loves hockey. We all love the Bruins. Hurrah!
Yes, and don't forget, as Heather said, please rate and review. It's very important for us and gets us a little more notoriety on these listening platforms, particularly the ones Apple Podcasts and Spotify and so on. So we would truly appreciate that. Leave a 5-star rating. Say something good. Say something bad about us. We don't care.
Say Heather's be like that. Heather girl's insane. 1 week she can't speak English. The next week she's like
flying off the wall. That's what we do here. We're absolutely crazy folk here. But anyway, with that being said, let's get this show done, and we'll do episode 243. It is Labor Day weekend next weekend, so we're going to be probably recording sometime early, and we do have a guest lined up. I'm going to be circling around with Jeff Mannix from the Big Jab and the Bruins Diehards Hockey Podcast. So really excited to have him on, talk about a few players and coaches that are going to be in the Boston Bruins system. And so let's hope that he's still on board with that. But with that being said, I'm Mark Allred. This is Heather Ingerson. It's the Black Gold Hockey Podcast. We want to thank betonline.ag for being the show sponsor and being with us forever. Please go to betonline.ag and use the code CLNS50. We would certainly appreciate that. I'm done. I got nothing.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Peace out. Love you guys. Take care. Be safe. And do all the good things that you humans do on a regular basis.
Bye.
What the fuck?
Thanks again for listening to and supporting Black and Gold Hockey Podcast. Please share the show with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to and leave a 5-star rating for the show on your favorite podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Between shows, help us keep the Bruins talk going by visiting our website, blackandgoldhockey.com, by sending an email to blackandgoldhockeyblog@gmail.com, and by following the show on Twitter @blackandgoldpod.
Peace out.